You walk away from a conversation feeling confused, guilty, maybe even like you're part of the problem. But deep down, something just doesn't seem right. That's not just a bad vibe. It could be emotional manipulation. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what it looks like, why it's so hard to see, and how this could really be controlling your life. Trust me, you don't have to feel like a puppet on a string. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Bill. On this channel, you and I talk about life lessons, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. So if you're into that, let's go. Emotional manipulation is when somebody intentionally uses your emotions to control or influence or even exploit you. It's not always aggressive. In fact, sometimes it's pretty subtle, cloaked in concern, charm, or even guilt. The manipulator might not scream or yell. They might not even seem angry. But their words and actions are designed to make you feel like you're wrong, not doing enough, or sometimes even crazy. And over time, this can destroy your self-confidence, make you feel like you're separated from your support mechanisms, and leave you feeling emotionally dependent upon them. Now here's the thing, emotional manipulation rarely seems obvious. It creeps in real slow. Maybe it begins with a little guilt tripping, then a few passive-aggressive comments, then gaslighting. Suddenly, you're constantly apologizing, second-guessing yourself, questioning your memory, and walking on eggshells. And the manipulator relies upon this slow erosion of your self-confidence. They rely upon you losing trust in yourself, trust in your memory, trust in your ability. And that's what makes it so hard to recognize, especially if you really care about this person. Now let's walk through some of the most common forms of emotional manipulation. Has anyone ever said to you, "This is how you repay me after everything I've done for you"? That's the guilt tripping I just mentioned. This tactic makes you feel selfish or ungrateful for feeling to have the need to set a boundary. If someone denies your reality to make you question what you think or what you believe, that's gaslighting. You might hear someone say, "Oh, that never happened," or "You're overreacting," or maybe "You're too sensitive." That's your clue that you're being gaslit. And if somebody gives you the silent treatment, that's not just cooling off. It's calculated silence to punish you or to regain some type of control over you. You feel anxious, desperate to fix things, trying to figure out what it is that you've done wrong, even when you know you didn't do anything wrong. And when someone starts to make you feel like everything's your fault, like they've done nothing wrong, what they're doing is they're playing the victim. Now this is going to keep you off balance, and you're always going to be trying to make things right. I once had someone start showering me with a bunch of praise, really building me up, making me feel really good, and then all of a sudden they just pulled it away and went silent on me. What that is known as is love bombing, and it's a tactic that they employ this because you're going to keep trying to make it better, make it the way it was. But once I realized this, it really made a difference. Ever have a situation when someone will try to bring another person or two into the conversation? Well, my ex never had a problem with that, or everybody thinks you're overreacting. What this is called, this is triangulation. And what it does, it creates jealousy and insecurity. Now drop me a comment below if you've had any of these happen in your life. I bet you have. And if you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up and a like. And be sure and leave that comment down below. Now, if you've been on the receiving end of emotional manipulation, you may start to doubt yourself and question yourself. You're going to feel guilty about setting boundaries. Maybe you're apologizing all the time. You feel like nothing you do is ever enough. You're anxious and experience emotional numbness. Over time, this can chip away at your self-esteem, and you become dependent upon the other person's validation, even though it's the very thing that they're trying to control. And here's one thing that you need to keep in mind. Emotional manipulation doesn't just happen to weak people. It tends to happen to people that are very emphatic, that are very in touch with other people's emotions. And that's what makes it so dangerous, because that is really your greatest strength. Having this ability to really care about others and how they feel. Your emotional sensitivity is that thing that the manipulator is going to use against you. So why do people do this? Why do people engage in emotional manipulation? It's about control. It might come from some personal inferiority that they have, some type of insecurity. It could be a defense mechanism. It could be a learned behavior from their childhood, from some traumatic event in their childhood. But understanding their reason is not the same thing as excusing it or accepting it. It's still manipulation, and it's wrong. Here's a good example. I bet you've had conversations like this. Let's say you bring up something that somebody did that made you feel bad, or maybe it hurt you, and you want to talk about it. But the first thing they say is like, "Oh, I guess I'm just the worst person on the planet ever, aren't I?" What they've done is they've turned it around. Now it's not about you and having your feelings hurt and wanting to talk about it. They've turned it, and now it's about them. They flipped the script and left you apologizing. Give me a thumbs up if you've ever experienced that. Drop me a comment down below and tell me how you handled it. And most people don't come to this realization in like one big aha moment. It's a slow progression of steps, a little bit after another. You keep saying to yourself, something here doesn't feel right. Why do I keep feeling this way after I have a conversation with this person? And if you've had those thoughts, don't ignore them. Emotional manipulation thrives in silence and self-doubt. Now, if you believe you're being emotionally manipulated by somebody, here's what you need to do. Don't argue. Don't try to defend. Don't push the issue. Say something like, I'm going to need to think about that. And then ask yourself, why is this person making me question my self-worth? Or why is this person making me feel this way? And what would I say if I wasn't afraid of their reaction? And then put your fear aside and say it. Now, if this video has resonated with you, you're not alone. The first step is recognizing the pattern. The next step is learning how to set boundaries and regain your emotional space. Now, if you've experienced this or have a question, please leave it in the comments below. Your comment just might help somebody else feel less alone. I'll be covering topics like this in upcoming videos, so be sure and hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell if you want to feel empowered and emotionally aware. Now be sure and watch this video next.